Against the rules,
A pleasant good morning to all and welcome to Darramore Park in Belfast, Northern Ireland. My name is Max Wolpoff, live from a remote location in the United States. For today's matchups with UCD flag football, first they'll be taking on the Northdown Dragons. You'll see them taking their flag equipment check, making sure the flags are actually pullable and as opposed to some bad carnival trick. The lined fields today are courtesy of Darramore Park in Belfast. This is the home of the Belfast Trojans. UCD is getting their equipment checked as well. And before the game begins, I want to very quickly share with you what's at stake today for the playoffs. UCD is here in the Claddagh Bowl group. Games today, South Dublin Panthers, they are, I believe, already finished with their 4 games for this Claddagh Bowl playoff seeding. UCD with 2 victories still has an outside shot to move up to second. However, there were games earlier today that I don't have results for. So if somebody is watching the stream that does have results, that'd be lovely. If you could tell me what happened between the Trojans and the Dragons and the Knights and the Vipers. The tiebreakers, in case of a tied record, first are head-to-head between the two teams involved, and the point differential during those head-to-head matchups. So we will go back to the game. Captains are going through the coin toss procedures. Trojans won. All right, that makes sense. I can understand how that was the case. Knights and Vipers, my guess would be Vipers would win based on purely record, but I don't know. So this is going to be a very not great color matchup for me. Sky blue versus a slightly darker shade of blue. As the other game going on the opposite field is going to be the Northwest Vipers, I believe in red. So that was very helpful as I scrambled to get ready. All right. Last night was not a great night at work. We had to call the game early due to rain, and we barely finished the required amount of innings to make an official baseball game when we got through the 5th right before the rain came. So Dragons will start with the ball after UCD deferred their option to the second half. All drives automatically begin at the 5 of the team with the ball. Very few secrets on the field in flag football. There's a lot of open communication. Granted, a lot of it is just making sure that you're paying attention and figuring things out as the game goes along. And we have a brief stoppage to allow the officials to change positions. Okay, so the referees have changed positions. Double quarterback play. Short in the backfield has a chance at it, and it's an early pull. Not a great gain, but a gain nonetheless. So I do have a second person now reaching out privately saying that the Trojans did indeed beat the Dragons with an unofficial score. So I'm going to hold off on reporting what the score is until we have confirmation. All the scores will be updated on AmericanFootball.ie. This is second down. Another fake the handoff. Throw it out wide on a wheel route. Got a great move here. There's a flag on the play in the backfield. As at the 20, they'll stop play. So this is a call against the Dragons, it looks like. As with the explanation is going to a Dragons player, so that's why. So shielding all the Dragons, and because they're inside the 10 for a 10-yard penalty, or even if it is a 5-yard, they're a little bit too close for that to be marched off completely. This is not the United Football League where they'll penalize full yards until they get into the goal line. So back at the 2, it's going to be second down and halfway. We're grateful all of you have joined us, whether it's afternoon where you are, might be in Ireland. And Smith comes up on defense. This is a light roster for UCD. The shovel toss play and yet another underneath route is all that's available for the Dragons quarterback. Third and midway from the 9. It is a 25-yard half of the field. So the orange pylon you see at the far side of the field, that's the 25, that's the midway. It is the 10, is the 20, 15, 10, and the 5 are the other lines marched off. Quarterback steps up into pressure, has a woman open, and a stop at the 15. We'll give him the 16 on the spotting. So this is going to be a 9 yards to go to midway. Fourth down to go. Shore needs to back up a little bit if she wants to blitz. And she does so. Bunch formation around the snapper with the receiver slot right. Dragons take the snap. UCD defending the first down line. Shore can't quite get the snap. It's on the interception. And there is a penalty on the play. Will they enforce it in addition to the interception or despite the interception? So whatever, and the referee just kicked the ball out of position. They'll just reset it. It is 18 minutes of rolling clock for the first 20 for each of the 20-minute halves until we get to the 2-minute warning. Smith back on the ball. Smith rolls, trying to find Veal, looking at the end zone, can't find her, finds Houston, and she's backing up to the 5-yard line. I don't know why I randomly decided to do that season 1 of SpongeBob reference, but I did. Anywho, it's Mackenzie Pliskett and Millie Peach you see on the sideline for UCD. A lot of unavailable players for UCD today, so they're bringing in a light roster, but they still like their chances here. Smith through the goal line, finding Shore. Does she get it? Yes! Touchdown UCD. First points are on the board. So after getting the interception on defense, Sam Smith, who normally does not play defense for this team, throws the touchdown pass. For the 1-point conversion from the 5-yard line, rush from the end zone. Smith fakes left, rolls right, finds a woman in the end zone, and that's a 1-point conversion. So the short drive pays off for UCD with a 7-point advantage to start today's action. Tom McKenniff and Sean McVeigh, glad to see both of you are tuning in. Evan, good to see you. This is definitely I think this is the final games guaranteed to be on the UCD American Football live stream channel. All of the next games, as the camera pans a little bit to get a shot of Darramore Park's clubhouse, all of the next games will be courtesy of the league. And this is a short toss play, and I don't think they did that one right. Something didn't look right about that one. False start, most of the Dragons. We almost had our favorite, everyone but the center. We almost had it, everybody. We just got to keep going for it. Defense stays in about the same formation as the two receivers left, one to the right. Snap from the end zone. Shore on the rush. It's a handoff play in the end zone, getting out of there. And I think they got beyond the 10. Yes, to the about 10.5. And actually the near side official, who I believe is just a Belfast Trojans coach who is working with the officiating crew. Not unusual. This is a normal practice in Ireland. A lot of coaches and players will cross-train as referees. Shore goes for the sack, can't quite get there. And it's broken up. Emily Houston in the clutch, right at the point of attack, attacked the ball and sent it to the ground. Evan, that's not who I have wearing number 40. I have Hannah Watchorn as number 40. Again, I got that direct from Kaylee Veal, one of the players on the team, so I'm choosing to trust my source of information there. Double snap play. Quarterback can run, quarterback can throw. She spins away from shore, gets around a few players, and Veal gets the stop 3 yards before the first down. So it's 4th and 3. Maybe 4th and 2. Yep, Watchorn is indeed number 40. One and a half yards to go for the first down. So UCD's got an interesting dilemma here. Do they play for the first down or do they defend the long ball on a shot play? Short toss play. They got it. Wide play. Smith gets the pull right at the first down marker. Not enough. Over to the automatic starting position they go. So a 7-0 lead. This is UCD's first drive from the automatic field position, as it is a 7-0 lead, thanks to an interception by Sam Smith and then a touchdown throw. Double snap play. Smith can run, Smith can throw. She'll throw, overshoots her targets. Incomplete to Veal. It's 2nd and town. Durthang, happy to see you. A lot of regulars tuning in today, which I've come to expect from UCD's broadcast. We have a lot of the same audience game to game, and I'm very grateful for all of you who join us. Bunch formation, motion left to right. Smith rolls right, finds a target. It's over the top. Intercepted! Running down the right sideline. Veal and Shore going after it. And a stop at the 10. Sophie Lachlan, I believe, was the one on the interception there. Smith undershot her intended target over the top and overshot her target in the middle of the field. It results in short field position for the Dragons. 11 yards to go for the goal line. Back to throw. Fake the handoff. And it's broken up. Incomplete. Well defended on the right side corner. Second and goal from the 11. Wind is heavy today in Belfast. You can see it shaking the trees. Wow, that wind is stiff today. Goodness, look at the flag out there on the right side of the camera, far side of the second field. Double back formation, toss play. She can run, she can throw. Shore is jumping, trying to defend the play. The goal line is in. No, short by a little. I in the no rushing. Boy, this wind is howling today. UCD backed up to the goal line. This is 3rd down Dragons. All receivers left. UCD playing underneath coverage. Shore will run. The short pass is taken away, and it's broken up. Incomplete with a flag. Check the flag and see what the adjudication is. And apparently they're so close to the goal line that there's no more yards that they can go, but it is an automatic first. So UCD went from potentially getting out of this to picking up a first down inside of their own 1-yard line. Dragons in trouble during the regular season. They're 4-0. Lost 5-12. That margin come into play. And they're trying to go short toss. And yes, they get the toss inside the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Tried to go as short a toss as they possibly could. They had to go for a forward pass. They were inside the no rushing zone at the 5-yard line. And they're still there with resulting here for this 1-point drop. All receivers around the snap. Score on the rush. Heavy rush. It's over the top, and it's caught. High game. 7-7 is your score. It is the first half. We're still north of the 2-minute warning. And once again, thank you to everybody who is tuning in and either watching live or watching recorded. This is UCD American Football's YouTube channel. Our mandate is to show you UCD football, and today that mandate includes Smith, who was under center for this snap. All 3 receivers were lined up left. It's going to be a toss play back. Smith lines up to throw for it and wanted Shore, incomplete. Had coverage over the top. It's just second down. UCD had a successful first flag football matchup. The whole playoff game. Being the first ever domestic loss to South Dublin Panthers Navy. And in quite convincing fashion, Smith takes the ball on second down, surveys for options, goes underneath, finds Watchorn, and it's complete for a few yards. Actually, they might have lost yards. Yeah, they did. They did lose yardage on that play. UCD looking at 3rd and long. And Northtown trying to play coverage. And it's caught with 10 yards to go. Houston on the catch. Next game for UCD will be against the Belfast Trojans, who played earlier today. And per accounts that I'm getting reward of, they did win. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. This is 4th and midway. About 9.5 yards to go. All receivers now to the right of Sam Smith. Over her options underneath the Veal. A lot of room to run, and it's too much ground to cover. Turnover on down to UCD. So that results in Northtown going to the automatic field. Neither team has been able to execute a full length of field drive yet, as both teams' touchdowns came on short field positions following interceptions. UCD keeping with their Fab 5, as are the Dragons. I don't think either team has brought on one of their sub players yet. Assuming that there are sub Dragons, I actually don't see any spare players for them. One in the uniform, I believe, is the coach. Shore on the rush. It's heavy right at the goal line, and it forces an errant throw, incomplete as it holds 2 receivers. Boy, that wind is howling today. Off the Charlotte Hornets style UCD flag jerseys. Double back play, throwing out, looking for the first down. It's way over top, incomplete. Listen, I like the sky blue. I just think it's a really close blue what the Dragons are wearing. Actually, no, there is a sub. I see her on the field now. That's Samantha Black, I believe. Yeah, uniform number 9 for the Dragons that I have is Samantha Black. It is 3rd down and midway. Scored so far. They scored on short fields. Toss back to the quarterback. Handoff play. Around the edge goes. He'll stop after an 8-yard gain. 4th down. There is no punting or kicking of any kind. So, hence the reason for the 5-rule automatic starting field position being at 5. 10 yards to go, actually 11 or so. 11 yards to go for the first down. The near side official in the white hat here in the black shirt. His job is to stand 7 yards off the ball to mark where the blitzer gets to stand. Quarterback toss. And underneath, incomplete. Sorry, I'm going quiet so I can try to pick up what's going on rather than just hear myself. I was trying to pick up on the time warning. So that's the fourth possession for the Dragons. 1 for 4 on scoring drives they are. They started the half with the ball. And that is now 2 minutes to go. We're at the 2-minute warning. UCD will benefit from the 2-minute timing rules, assuming they can take advantage, and it's a great run. Houston's got Bloom, and she's moving and shaking down the sideline. Solid gain. Clock will wind as the play finished off in bounds. 2nd and exactly 7 to go. Smith's got 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. She handled it. Throws it underneath. Finds Houston again. Favorite target. And she'll get out of bounds. Maybe? Yes, she did get out of bounds after the first down line. And there's a flag on the play. Hang on, everyone. So they count the down, and they'll march back 5 yards from where the play ended. So this will be 3rd down. They take away the first down. So a short gain for UCD. They were 7 yards away. They are now 2 extra yards. So takes away a first down, extra play taken off the board. Washorn in motion. Smith has 2 receivers to her left, handles the snap, looking over her options, looking out for Veal. Incomplete. Now it's 4th down. Clock stops because of the incomplete pass. UCD's got 5 yards to gain for the first down line. And they'll take a tight formation near the ball. Smith has it. She's got a little bit of time to throw. Nobody's rushing her. And it's over the top. Got it open, complete on the sideline. And it's pulled at the 12. Clock stops for the first down. Solid play. 1 minute, 9 seconds. So 69 seconds separate us. Harry. Nice. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Watchorn in motion. All receivers now left. Smith takes the snap, looking over options, finds Veal. She'll go underneath, try to get out of bounds. And does she? No. Flag got pulled right before. UCD will start the second half with the ball. They are now 9 yards short of the end zone, now 10, as the spot goes to the 10, not the 9. Shore is the one nearest to the ball. Watchorn wide right, Houston wide left. Smith to throw. This is 2nd down, wanting Veal off the hands. Does she get control? Yes! Touchdown, UCD! I thought she juggled it, able to corral the ball before going to ground. And that is a 13-7 advantage. UCD will line up for 1 to become a 7-point lead again. Houston and Shore on the right, Watchorn at the left, and she'll walk up to the line. Now she'll go in motion to the right. They're running Watchorn around a lot. Sam Smith steps up, looking back at the end zone. It's in her hands and dropped incomplete. There are 36 seconds to go. The Dragons will get the ball back. Could that point prove critical? Point advantage for UCD. They will get the ball to start the second half of the fight. This is the 5th drive for the Dragons. And it's a slow developing toss play. Smith misses. Shore and Veal combine to take both flags off. Dragons will take one of their 2 timeouts that they are allotted. UCD used none of their 2 timeouts. As now both teams will head toward what's going to be the sideline. Fields are lined so close here that there's no room to put a team on. Nice headband for Heather. Spirit of the month, I guess. Dragons have 1 timeout remaining. It is 2nd down and 11 to go for the first. Gosh, I love having the field line. Beautiful. Now 31 seconds. 2nd and midway. UCD's opted to keep the same 5 on the field for the entire duration of this first half. Clock runs as the timeout goes. No, it doesn't. Dragons are now out of timeouts. I didn't realize pulling the train whistle was now the signal that they're out of timeouts, but okay. I guess the closed fifth is already taken for 4th down. So they had to go for something else. UCD, on their most recent drive, executed the first full length of the field touchdown drive of the game. Right, 1 to the left. Send the ball back. Shore on the rush. In the way of the snap, and it's intercepted. No, dropped. He'll put it to the ground. Brings up 4th down. About as good for UCD would be just getting them off the field, or getting the ball back, I should say, because they haven't rotated any of the players to come off the field. I'm so used to talking about the defense and offense as separate and distinct units that the fact that it's the same players going end to end with the ball and without the ball is throwing me off a tad with my nomenclature. Quick snap play. This is 4th down. Got to get to that midway line. Going for it all. Down the field it goes. Through and up. No flags on the field. UCD will take the ball for a very brief drive. Is actually going to call a timeout here. This is their first 2. They have 1 timeout remaining, maybe time for 2 plays. UCD has done those late half drives before where they didn't have a whole lot of time. They found a receiver over the top, and they were able to either get a lot of yards to set up a goal-to-go chance, or they got a long touchdown throw. For the Dragons, the task is easy. Just see out of the end zone here. Don't let them double dip. Take this one to the next half. UCD is playing 2 games today. This is their first. They'll be playing the Belfast Trojans next, and that will follow after this game. And Smith is going to throw underneath the spin, and UCD will fire their 2nd timeout. There are now 2 seconds left. So this will barring a penalty, be the final play of the half. Not sure what else there is to say for the Dragons other than defend the goal line. No matter the amount of yards you give up here, it doesn't really matter as long as you keep UCD out of the end zone. And what do you have? Trying to get 31 yards. They will send a rusher, I believe. Everybody else for the Dragons is going back. And Smith is going to opt to take a knee. So UCD is heading into the second half up 13-7. I'm going to edit the graphic to reflect the fact that this is now the second half. UCD will have the ball to open the half. Hi, everybody. I'm Max Wolpoff, the voice of UCD American Football. Thanks again for everybody who has been part of the UCD's broadcast team and everything we've got going on for this year. It's an incredible honor to bring you these games. As always, their games are brought to you by Tap House, Bar Kitchen and Sounds, a proud partner of UCD American Football. Join us for our pre- and post-game events at the Tap House. And by Finnegan Menton Property Consultants, visit them at finneganmenton.ie. As always, if you're interested in enjoying today's streams, we would not be able to do these live streams without your support. Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. We've been supported by so many incredible people throughout the course of this season, and we are always grateful for all of you who join us every single week to show off their support for UCD American Football, whether that's the players on the field, the club as a whole, or any of the other aspects of this game. We thank each and every one of you for being part of this journey. Now, in a brief moment, it is time for me to go through the playoff scenarios again. So, more than likely, UCD cannot get the first overall seed as a result of Panthers are locked into the top seed. They wrapped that up on June 13th, demolishing the Belfast Trojans in a tight victory over the Northtown Dragons. UCD will play both of those teams today. So they're playing the Dragons now. They'll play the Trojans next. Trojans can finish as high as second and as low as fourth if they lose both games. But because they won already today, from the sources I have, that's not happening. So they can finish at worst third now. A loss in both games. The only way they would have been able to finish fourth is a loss in both games and a 2-victory day for Northtown. UCD can finish second at best and fourth at worst. 2 wins today would give UCD the second seed. Northtown, they can finish third at best, but because I'm going to go back up. Yeah, because they've already lost, and that's no longer the case, though. And the Red Bows, they only won 1 game in the playoff phase, as they are locked into the 5th seed, and they're stuck in that qualifying game come July 25th. As we go back to the field to show off this lovely atmosphere at Darramore Park. Again, we're glad all of you have joined us for the course of these seasons. If you've got questions, I'll be able to answer them between games. Flag football moves so incredibly fast that it's a little difficult to answer questions during the games. Drink something and forget what you put in the cup. I forgot I made green tea. I was expecting more herbal mix, and then I got a green tea flavor. It's like, did I make this wrong? Nope. I just forgot what I made. Yeah, it's a very late. It was a very late night for me last night. Getting home from work really late, and then having to come here, set up the computers, make sure I had the rosters, and make sure that all my equipment is in the correct place and my lighting is okay. UCD starts with the ball. 20 minutes rolling clock from the snap. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Smith takes the ball at the goal line. Looking over her options, throws it underneath and finds a short gain. Eventually, the flag gets pulled, and that is a 4-yard gain on first down. I guess somebody's been watching the USA World Cup games on the far side of the field because they just started the I believe that we will win chant, and then nobody joined in. Two receivers right, one to the left. Smith handles the high snap from Peach, and she'll go out to her on the catch, and she does make the catch. Defender went down as she tried to go for the ball. That was an interesting spectacle. Two receivers around the snapper with one wide out left. This is 3rd and 10. Smith takes the snap. Smith steps up into the pressure, pump fakes once, throws it out wide for sure from her bottom, gets the ball and converts the first down. That was a nicely done play. Not sure if she meant to go to ground to get the ball, but with a low throw, it's about as good a spot to catch it. Two receivers right, one to the left. Watchhorn in motion. Smith underneath toss play to Shore and trying to utilize her speed. Two pulls of the flags. That brings up 2nd and 11. As UCD opting to give Veal a chance to rest on the sideline as she's standing there alongside Mackenzie Pliskett. Houston and Shore left, Watchorn right, as motion comes to send Watchorn to the left now. Smith steps up, nobody pressuring her, trying to find anybody open, finds it for Peach, and Millie is into the end zone. Touchdown, UCD. That is a 19-7 lead as Millie Peach, I believe that's her first points for the UCD flag team this season. As now Peach has the ever rare feat in this world of having a tackle for loss in the American Football Ireland kitted division, which is the tackle team, as well as having points in the flag league. UCD will line up to go for one. All receivers are to the right. Watchhorn move to the slot, going out wide. Got it open. That's a 1-point conversion. Makes it 20-7 as UCD goes from up 1 possession to up 2. All right. You know what, Evan? You're right. That was a weird signal. So give me a second to update the graphic to reflect that that was the touchdown. This is the 1-point try. Can Sam Smith make it not matter? No. All right. So it is 19-7. I jumped the gun thinking that Millie had gotten into the end zone, and the signal from the official at the near side resembled a touchdown as he put his hands up like this. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it is still a 2-possession advantage for UCD. That much is certain, but it is 19-7, not 20-7. 12-point advantage as UCD back on defense. Peach will come off. Smith will play underneath coverage. It's a double back set. Quarterback opts to run and a pull at the 10 for a 5-yard gain. And now from the 12. I'm not sure of the score that's going on between the Mavericks and the Vipers, and that snap did not go well. This is third down. That snap counts as a down. Much like in the Simpsons movie when Homer falls over on the motorcycle, that counts as a try. And here's the flag on the play. Everybody moved, so that's a false start. I wasn't expecting to reference the Simpsons movie today, but this is what you get when you bring me in. Yeah, Millie's been working 2 seasons for UCD. She's been a stalwart on UCD's defensive line. And now here in the flag season, she got a really good drive to set up the touchdown. Backwards throw. The pass can go forward as they're running out of time. They opted to run. Didn't get much, but it does something to make this fourth down try easier. Not by much. It's still going to be a 7 plus 5 is 12. Gosh, I'm bad at math in the early morning. All receivers either left of the snapper, and here comes a high snap. They fake the toss play. Looking out long, going deep down the field, had a woman over the top. Incomplete. Houston played the woman, not the ball. Ball went long, and nobody caught it. Automatic field position we go after the turnover on downs. It is a 12-point advantage for UCD. Can they make it a 3-possession game? 2 receivers right, 1 to the left on this first and 10. First and midway. Sam Smith handles the high snap, looking out long, finds a coverage, but it's incomplete. That could have been a disastrous first down, and instead it just falls as a normal incompletion. Despite the wind, it at least looks like a somewhat warm day in Belfast. I'll look up the temperature between games. All receivers right. Smith under center. Watch run in motion. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Smith. She's going to run. She'll spin free for about 5 yards and make it 6. Third down. The pylons at midfield denote the 25-yard line. 3 around the ball. Houston out wide left. And Houston is a little bit offside, so they're going to reline her up. Bullet snap back to Smith. Looking underneath, finds Houston, gets the catch, and they'll dink and dunk their way for another 5 yards. This is now 4th and 10. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she has been playing rugby at the same time. These are the things that I don't pick up because I'm not there. So you see, they only have 20 seconds as a play clock. Patty Sweeney is going to relay the play call privately. Not a whole lot of time to line up. Now, okay, 10 seconds is still a lot of time. Bunch formation right of the ball. 4th and 9.5. And UCD is actually going to call a timeout. They didn't get set up in time. And rather than risk the 5-yard penalty on his potentially critical 4th down play, they will call their first of 2 timeouts, take advantage of the fact they have the lead, and try again, 4th and about 9.5. And Sweeney's going to call his team over now. So, 19-7, UCD is in the lead. This is their second drive of the second half. We're grateful all of you have been awake and alive to join me on this Saturday. I almost forgot what day of the week it was. Both teams had the ball 5 times in the first half. UCD scored twice. The Dragons scored once. 4th and about 9.5. And that's going to be a false start penalty. As Shore moved up before the ball snapped. So that makes 4th down even harder. .14.5 yards to the midway line. North Down is playing coverage. Only woman up is the designated runner, and she might be a decoy. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Houston in motion, goes all right. And indeed, she is a decoy. She'll drop back and play coverage. Bullet pass to Houston, 5 yards to get, and she'll get to the 23 before being stopped. 3rd turnover on downs of the game for second turnover on downs of the game for UCD. Back to the automatic starting field position at the 5-yard line. North down 2 possessions. It gets late quick in flag football games. As Shore will also come off as they rotate on players. With UCD playing a game immediately after this, it would be understandable to make sure the players are at least somewhat fresh for that second game. Short snap, back to throw, and she can run. She opts to toss it, and she's in between the coverage. Solid gain of 10 yards on 1st down. Not sure what green is on the opposite field, but something's going on between the Vipers and Mavericks. I don't have a score of that game. And it is a trip. Lachlan gets yards, but not as many as she could have received as she kept her footing. 3rd and 6-ish. Actually, it's more like 3rd and 5-ish as we're inside of the 19 and heading toward the 20. UCD playing back. Double toss play. Quarterback can run. She's going to do so. Crosses the line of scrimmage. Misses the flagpole. I thought she stepped out of bounds at around the 20, but she'll get the yards. Pliskett gets the stop. And that is a 1st and goal from the 14. With a 2-possession lead, UCD does have the advantage of being able to give away 1 drive and force North Down to use as much time as possible. Looking out long, going deep. It's underthrown. Smith had coverage, and it's incomplete. 2nd and goal. North Down attempting to avoid the qualification game between the 4th and 5th seeds for the Claddagh Bowl. On the opposite field, they are competing for the FINA Bowl. That game is between the Vipers and the Mavericks. Vipers are in red, Mavericks in yellow. Dragons take a short snap here. Toss play. Quarterback can run. She can throw. She crosses the line of scrimmage, dances around, gets through 2 tacklers, and it's a pull at the 5 from Veal. Nicely running there from Samantha Black. From the 4, it's 4th down and goal. I believe that's Pliskett coming off for UCD. They'll bring Shore back on. So the Dragons can't pull off the same play they did previously. They need to throw the ball forward for it to be a valid play. UCD is playing short, defending the goal line. Shotgun snap. Steps up to the line of scrimmage. Shore on the rush. It's outside. Intercepted. No, touchdown. Sorry, the blue shades threw me off there. 19-12. Dragons trail by 7. They'll opt to go for 1 to make it a 6-point game. Missing the conversion here wouldn't be an awful thing. It would just mean it stays a 7-point game. Dragons eventually need to pick up a conversion point of some sort. Here's the 1-point try. Steps up into the pressure and has it. Back to a 6-point game. Wait. Nope, it's 1914. My bad. I was wrong on the math. All right. So it, in fact, is a 5-point game. Smith to throw. Steps up and throws it underneath. Was running out of time on the coverage sack. He'll take the positive yards as opposed to being stopped for a loss. Quarterbacks have 7 seconds to throw the ball from the time they receive it behind the line of scrimmage. If they don't get the ball away, it is a coverage sack, and the play is stopped where the quarterback stands. 2 receivers right. Houston will go to that direction. It's a handoff play. She'll have a little bit of room to run. Swims through for a stop at the 17-yard line. Two downs of positive yards as UCD leads by 5. Dragons have made this an interesting game. 2 receivers left. Houston moves, and that's a false start. I believe that's the 3rd false start penalty of the game, 2nd on UCD. Costs UCD 5 more yards. Sounds like busy traffic out of Belfast International today. It's still 3rd down for UCD. Now they've got a little bit of a longer ways to go. Smith to throw, has receivers underneath, going for Houston, finds her, and this 3rd down play gets close to the 4th down line, 4th and 1. UCD is taking their time here, taking the advantage of having the what's it called? Okay, there are officially 2 minutes to go. UCD has taken the time all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Watchorn in motion as now, after a brief conversation with the official, they weren't ready for play. They finally whistle play in. There are 2 minutes to go in the half. Watchorn motion. UCD has checked to a different play call. Let's see what it is. Smith steps up, looking over the top, finds a receiver. It's incomplete. Opted to go for the home run and swing and a miss. That was drive number 3 of this second half, and the Dragons trail by 5. A touchdown would give them the lead. Tense moments here as we are under 2 minutes to go. Dragons have both of their timeouts remaining. UCD's got 1 left. UCD began the half with the ball, scoring a touchdown, and they've since gone empty on their next 2 drives, but they took a lot of time off. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. What do the Dragons have in store? Double toss play. Quarterback's going to run. Shore rushing her toward the sideline. Clock will wind. North Down opts to not take their 2 timeouts here. And the clock is moving. North down, a little urgency. Is going to get to the line for second down and 20. Lachlan, and she'll stumble out of bounds. Stutter step with 4 yards to go or so. This is third down. The clock does stop on plays out of bounds inside of 2 minutes. Orange pylons denote the halfway line, which is the first down line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Can North Down pull off another win over UCD? Double toss play. Quarterback is going to run. She stops at the line of scrimmage, throws it up long, and it's almost intercepted. Emily Houston had the game in her hands. It just brings up fourth down. Houston might be kicking herself about that, but get set because here's another play. This is fourth down. If the Dragons fail to get the line that's 4.5 yards away here, they will turn the ball over to UCD. North Down does have both of their timeouts remaining. UCD's got 1 timeout. Smith comes up in quick pressure, high arcing snap, and steps up the line of scrimmage. It's actually completed. Well done by Sophie Lachlan to reel that ball in. Lachlan was a participant with the Irish Wolfhounds team that won gold in the Nations Cup in Amsterdam on May 31st of this year against various Dutch and Swedish teams. And this first down, 20 or so yards to go to the end zone. It is a 5-point lead. A touchdown will give the Dragons the lead. They are under 2 minutes to go. I haven't heard a time check since that. 2 receivers left. Now under center snap. Quarterback can run. Quarterback can throw. Short misses the flagpole. Run up the middle. Getting past the 10. Clock is going to run. North Down's going to pocket their timeouts here. 9 yards to the end zone. North Down's keeping their timeouts in their pocket. Clock is moving. Got to play this carefully. And false starts. With the running clock inside of 2 minutes, I don't know if there's a time penalty added to this as well. And it's just the 5-yard penalty. So the clock does stop. So this does operate like a timeout where you lose yards. All right. 4-0, 40 seconds to go. Tense moments here from Darramore Park. What kinds of plays do the Dragons have to gain 14 more yards and take the lead? The margin between these two teams was 13 last time they played. High snap, handoff play, Lachlan, and she'll move out of bounds. Short gain, but it preserves the timeouts. And this is now third down. 2 plays to the end zone. From 12 yards out, what do the Dragons have here as the camera takes a bit of a frolic to take a look at what's going on between the Mavericks and the Vipers? Shore's got her hand up. She'll be the runner. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Double toss play potentially. Lachlan opts to step back. She'll throw it backwards, and she can run. She can throw. She'll opt to throw. It is a short gain. Clock does run, and North Down will take a timeout. 4th and goal, inside of about 30 seconds left. Likely final play of the game that's meaningful. A touchdown play would result in needing to do the conversion try, which if UCD runs back the conversion try, it's a 2-point try for them. But that's neither here nor there right now. It's a 5-point advantage for the Dragons. It is fourth and goal, 7 yards away. Yeah, nervy moments here at Darramore Park. I hope everybody uh, got a good checkup from their doctor today, because if this is the way the first game is going, ooh, we're in for a good one today. North Down has scored once in each half so far. They got the conversion try both times. A touchdown here would give the Dragons the lead and likely the win. One timeout apiece. Three receivers all to the left side. Here's the snap. Shore steps up. Looking underneath, looking for the end zone. It's broken up. Diving for the ball. It's incomplete. There are no flags on the field. Broken up by Hannah Watchorn. And that is a huge breath of fresh air and a sigh of relief for University College Dublin. The Dragons do have one timeout left. Smith will just put her receivers in motion and likely take a knee. Indeed, that is what happens. Game over. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Dragons. Wow. That was quite a bout between these two squads. Absolutely incredible game. We will have more flag football coming up. 1914 is your final. Uh, sorry, I forgot to change the graphics. All right. 1914 UCD over the Dragons. That was an intense finish to the game. Oh, I never took the screen audio off from earlier. Sorry. I muted the screen audio during halftime and I never took it off. That's my bad, everybody. Hi, Max Wolpoff here. UCD American football is that was all right. Harry, guys, be nice to Harry, please. Harry's had great seasons for all of you. So two timeouts apiece for UCD and the Trojans, as I will go back to the Claddagh groupings. With that win, UCD moves to 9-3, and the Trojans are also 9-3 following their victory earlier against the North Down Dragons. The next game is scheduled for 9:30 local, for 9:30 my time, 2:30 p.m. local. We've got a little bit of time, but not much. As the Trojans are going to warm up to get this game started. Yeah, second or third is the lock-in spot. It's going to be one of the two. This is a semifinal preview match, come to think of it. UCD and the Trojans are locked into playing each other in the semifinal round. So I don't know what the teams decide to do here. The home road advantage isn't really much of an advantage when you're playing at a neutral site. You're more playing for pride at this point, where it's second or third in the regular season. So UCD and the Belfast Trojans will play in the next game. I need to take a brief moment to take a break. I'll leave you with the sights of the field. If anybody's got questions, put them in the chat. But until then, I'll be back shortly. Hi, everyone. Yeah, this has been an issue for UCD American football the last couple of games that the camera has lost connection, got it back, lost it again. We had this issue when games were last at Darramore Park for both flag and a tackle, and it's been in and out through the course of warmups from what I've seen. This is not ideal, but it's not like I got nothing to show you. So again, with results today, I can confirm the North Down Dragons have gone 0 for 2 today. So they are 6-7. This is now going to be the matchup for the qualification game, which will then play South Dublin Panthers Navy, as they both finished 6-7. The Trojans did defeat them 13-0. And on the other side, in the early game, the Northwest Vipers defeated the Belfast Knights 31-0. So in the FINA Bowl storylines, Northwest did need to win one game. They guaranteed themselves the 4th seed. South Dublin Panthers White, they won't play today, so they can't move up or down from 3rd because they have a head-to-head victory over the Vipers. So the Vipers and Knights basically played a qualification game preview, as they were stuck into that spot. The Dublin City Wolves and Louth Mavericks. The Mavericks have to lose both games today in order to not have the 1st seed. So the Wolves, they're frozen in a spot. They can't move. And Louth, they have to win at least one game to become the top seed due to their victory over Dublin City earlier this season. Louth can finish second at worst because SDP White is frozen in place in the 3rd spot. Anyway, as for our side of the field, the game we're about to watch is a semifinal preview. UCD will play the Belfast Trojans in the semifinals as the 2 and 3 seed. It's more of a question now of who gets to be 2, who gets to be 3. And that's more a position of bragging rights because the finals themselves will be held at a neutral site. Let me share this tab instead, go back to the field now that the field has visuals, and thank goodness. The Trojans, as per usual, are bringing a large roster, and granted, this is also at their home field, so I can understand them having a large roster for their home crowd. This is the final game of the playoff seeding phase of the season. These two teams met in the round-robin phase with Belfast defeating UCD 32-14. And in case that becomes an issue, the margin of victory there is 18. So the two tiebreakers are head-to-head between the two teams, which if UCD would win, that would split the tiebreaker, 1 win, 1 loss. And then the second part is point differential during head-to-head matchups. So for UCD to become the 2nd seed, based on that information, I believe UCD must win by 19 or more. If they end up winning by 18, I don't know what the procedure is. So again, UCD and the Trojans, this is going to be a common theme for the next couple of weeks, as UCD's tackle football team will also be playing the Belfast Trojans in a semifinal game. That will be on July 5th. It is a 2 o'clock local kickoff time, which for me creates issues because I have a baseball game to be at starting at 1:30 on July 5th, my time. And there's a bunch of pregame stuff I got to do. I've already told the baseball team I work for that I've committed to doing this game. I will do the game for UCD. All I've asked is that the game start on time, because once the game starts on time, everything else is out of control, and we all know this. But who's got questions? We got a little bit of time. We got about 10 minutes to go until the game begins. So if y'all got questions, and hopefully none of them are questions that are being mean to Harry Watchorn. So yeah, UCD wins. I just noticed the spelling mistake in the graphic. Apparently nobody else did because nobody said anything about stay tuned faux Armor action. That doesn't sound correct. I'm tired, all right? Give me a break, everybody. Look, I'm thrilled to do these games for everybody, but this was a lot easier to do when I was living locally in Ireland and could wake up and do these games at relatively normal times. All right. It will be UCD Trojans to start. They're not having point toss again. We're probably several minutes away from getting that started. If you got questions, it's as good a time as any to get them in. Otherwise, I can just run through more of the storyline. So UCD's overall margin against the Northtown Dragons fell to 8 as a result of their 5-point victory today. But because UCD has a better record than Northtown, that tiebreaker doesn't come into effect. The Dragons' season is over, and they will finish the full season at 6-7. They came into the qualification phase at 5-4. So they won 1, lost 3. I am not play-by-play for the baseball team. I am the public address announcer. So there's still a lot of stuff to get done, and there's potentially going to be an audience of a couple thousand people because it's July 5th in the United States, and it's the day after Independence Day. We're a lot cheaper to attend games at than the Nationals or the Orioles. So, yeah, I'm not play-by-play for that team, but I am an important role as part of in-stadium entertainment. Granted, the team I'm working for now is currently riding a 3-game losing streak, while the team behind us in the division has won 12 straight and just refuses to lose games these days. So, again, I'm here. I'm ready for this. So thanks for the question, but yeah, I'm the public address announcer, not play-by-play. So these will be the final games of the qualification round. The Belfast Knights will face the Louth Mavericks in the next game. The Mavericks are lined up in yellow, which is their normal color. And granted, I don't know what happened in the Vipers Mavericks game because the Vipers are frozen at 4. They can't move up, they can't move down. But the Mavericks, with a win of any kind, can claim the top spots because then they would be what's the record I'm looking to talk about? They would be 7-6 with 2 victories today. Y'all heard that, right? I don't know whether to be concerned by that beeping sound that I just heard from near the camera. All right, so the Mavericks did win. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you. Let me write my notes. So with another victory, the Mavericks could overtake that top spot. And I'm going to go briefly to here. So with the 6-6 record the Mavericks have now, because the Mavericks defeated the Dublin City Wolves on the first day of the playoff phase, Louth can finish in first, technically speaking, if they win the next game against the Belfast Knights. And because, as you are able to see here, the Belfast Knights have struggled to score. They've had a tough time winning games, but anything can happen. Switch back to the field. Teams are just going through their last warm-up rounds. As you might be able to tell from warm-ups already, the Trojans are carrying a much larger roster than UCD. If anyone's got questions, this is last call for a little bit. Again, y'all are hearing that, right? So, all right. Y'all are hearing the beeping sound, so I'm not going nutso over here, at least not over that. Shouldn't the orange pylon be moved outside of the field of play? Like, if it's going to lay flat anywhere, shouldn't it lay flat on the out of bounds side? Anyway, asking questions here. Looks like it'll be the same referee team for the next matchup as well. We're just waiting for this game to begin, which should begin around 2:30 local, 9:30 my time. As looks like the teams have finally finished up their warm-ups. So the Louth Mavericks are playing for the 1 seed on the other field, and these two teams are playing for the 2 and 3 on this field. So some playoff intrigue here to finish off the playoffs qualification round. Nice snag there, Emily. And we've had a couple of number switches as a result of uniforms being lost or neglected or missed or whatever reason. We've had a couple of number switches for today's game, and as well as last week's game. Sam Smith was wearing 3 last week, or last time the teams played. That was 2 weeks ago, actually. And we've lost the camera briefly. We were very fortunate to have the entire game against the Dragons go without having a camera issue. So I'm not 100% sure what the procedure is going to be for Claddagh League action on July 25th. I'm not sure how many of the games are going to be streamed by the league. I'm not sure how many games are going to be shown with a full production. It looks like they're doing their warm-ups, so we're just about set to get underway. And I'm also not 100% sure what the procedure is going to be for the Shamrock and Heart Bowls coming up as well. This year, the games have been moved off of being on the same day. Last year, they were all on the same day, triple header style, where it was Harp, Claddagh, Shamrock all in a row, which is a lot of football to watch and talk about. As the guy who brought you all three of those games, it was very tough on the voice. And thank goodness I didn't have to say anything the next day, because I think I spoke a grand total of like 1,000 words the next day. It was not a lot, and I talk a lot. It might have been a few hundred, come to think of it. So because of the nature of the clubs all fielding tackle as well as flag teams, a lot of the coaches for the flag arms of these various clubs are also players on the tackle football teams. And as a result, many of them lobbied to have the games split up so that flag would be its own day and the tackle side would be on a different day, to allow the coaches to focus on one and focus on the other on separate weeks. It was an understandable request, and I think the league was forward-thinking enough to honor it. We're a tad late getting started. The Northdown Dragons, I believe, are going to be officials for this game. And the Trojans will get a run out for the final time at home, I assume, because the camera isn't picking it up. Yeah, I assume that this is a run out for the flag team, even though the camera isn't showing it. So anyway. Captains will now head out to the field. We're just about ready to start this game.
Trojans on me. Trojans on three. 1, 2, 3. Trojans!
Listen, we're incredibly grateful for all of you and being part of these live streams. If you're interested in supporting future live streaming initiatives by UCD American Football Club, Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. This will probably be our first stream of the season, and it will be incredible to be back here next year for Claddagh and InterVarsity action, for hopefully the new mixed flag league gets off with a UCD team as well. There's a lot to be excited about. American football is still growing and developing in Ireland, especially in relation to next year. In 2 years, the Olympics are coming up, and Ireland is one of many European teams that are trying to qualify. They've got a bit of a steep hill. They've got a bit of a steep mountain to climb with regard to qualifying for that. Easily and somebody for the Trojans are out for the captain's coin toss. Both teams will get 2 timeouts to begin. So Trojans will start half with the ball. UCD opens on offense. UCD will start on the right side and will go toward the left end zone. And the Trojans and their shamrock green and white uniforms will start on defending the left end zone. And side coach of the previous game is now back to his normal role as a coach of the Belfast Trojans. And not 100% sure what the delay here is. If I can take a brief moment to say, Paul McElwain died unexpectedly over the last week. And Paul, many of you might know Paul as the photographer of a lot of American football games in Ireland. His photography is all over team social media, all over league social media, and his impact on the game throughout Ireland is tough to measure because it was so immense. And his impact will be dearly missed, but his impact is not lost. First and way for UCD as we take a hard right turn and get back to game action. Smith underneath for Veal. It's a catch and run, stretching for good yardage, not a 5-yard gain. First drive here for either squad, and indeed this is the Northdown Dragons operating as officials in this contest. Bunch formation right side, Smith under center. Motion receiver, not going to be a run play here. Outside for Veal, got a little bit of room, and they'll get 7, maybe 8. 7. 2 straight positive conversions. Results in 3rd down and midway. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And motion from Watchorn. Everybody now on the left. Smith's going to step that direction. Looking out long for Houston. Overhand! Had a shot at going to the end zone on a long down. Incomplete. 4th and 8. UCD operating. Man, this is part of the trouble of this game. Everybody, there's really no secrets. Trojans defending the halfway line. Houston motions across. Everybody on the right side. 4th down, high snap, handled by Smith. She has room. She throws, looking for Veal. It's caught, and the flagpole 1 yard short. Turnover on downs for the first drive of the game.
On the ball.
Trojans will now head onto the field. UCD has a light roster today. I believe they've only got 7 players total. I believe that's Ruby Elliott back to throw in this play. Hannah Watchorn misses the interception. Monique easily gets the catch and run. Again, with these teams lined up to play each other in about a month's time, real question is how much do you play to win? How much do you play to hide your playbook? And it's 2nd down. It's a really long throw, but she'll dirt it. There's no intentional grounding call in this sport. So instead of taking the sack, the Trojans just dirt the ball. Looking like a 9 yards to get for the first down. It's 3rd down, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And it's a run play. UCD will meet her at the flagpoles. And that's now 4th and 2. Again, UCD almost got burned on this on a previous drive against the Dragons today. As indeed, that is Elliott starting at quarterback. One of the joys of having a large roster that the Trojans do is that they are able to utilize a lot of different players in different positions with good skill sets at all positions. Door on the rush, looking out long, it's outside, and it is caught down the sideline, somehow making the catch. Inside the 4, I don't know how she made that catch. Results in a 1st and goal. No running plays allowed now. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Elliott takes the ball. And Ruby back to throw. It's low and through the hands, incomplete. 2nd and goal. 20-minute halves are how flag football organizes the time. Fast-paced game. Teams get 4, maybe 5 possessions a half if they're lucky. And after the 2-minute warning, receivers left, 1 to the right. UCD defending the goal line. Ruby Elliott to throw. Shore on the rush, looking at the same side. And it is again broken up incomplete. Good coverage. And that results in a 3rd and goal. They again tried to get that left front pylon on the previous 2 plays. And the problems of a large roster is I don't have the names for some of the players on the Trojans. I'm noticing the numbers on the sideline, and I don't know who some of these people are. All receivers left. They fan out. Ruby back to throw. Middle wide open. Down focus. Put 6 on the board. And the camera goes blurry. So 6-0. As UCD fails to get the 1st down on their 1st drive. And the Trojans convert a long 4th down play. Elliott to throw underneath, has the receiver open, and that's 7 on the board. UCD back on offense. They have the ball to start the game. Trojans won the toss. They deferred. So they wanted UCD to start with the ball. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Smith. Open underneath is Houston, getting a 7-yard gain, maybe 6. And the down judges are not giving the stretch to the receivers. All right, whatever. All receivers will go left. Bunch formation right side. Smith takes a indirect snap to her. He'll go underneath the Veal, and she spins out of coverage, and nicely done for more yards. Similar to last drive, it'll be 7 yards to the midway line, as UCD gets 2 positive plays on 1st and 2nd down. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Motion from Houston. Arcing snap to Smith, and she'll drop back to throw, and it's a sack. They call the sack.
Let's go! Let's go!
4th and 12. UCD's had an awfully hard time beating the Belfast Trojans in recent years in tackle and in flag. High snap to Smith, 4th down, looking long, has receivers open, incomplete. There is a flag in the backfield. I saw the flag get thrown, so let's check what's going on here. So they opt to take the yards. Wait. No, it's 4th. First was positive. Second was positive. Third was the sack. UC is going to get a 5th down. Unless there was a change of downs at one point in this half of the field that I didn't notice. And the ball comes out. I think this is 5th down. Because first down was positive yards, second down was positive yards, third down was a sack, and 4th down was an offensive penalty that the Trojans opted to, for some reason, push back instead of taking the ball. This is 5th down. And UCD make it work, and it doesn't matter anyway. Turnover on downs. UCD gives up the ball. Like, am I crazy? Was my math wrong there? This is very possible, but I think that was 5th down. University of Colorado once got that, and that was in a real game ref by professionals. And I gotta say, that was a weird thing to watch, recognizing that this was a 5th down play. Listen, I don't know if there was a cycle of downs repeated that I missed somewhere, but Trojans a chance to go up 2 possessions early. Elliott to throw. She's got all 3 receivers to the left, and it's easily on the catch. Elliott gets the play privately from her coach and then relays it to her receivers on the field. A 7-0 lead. Second drive of the game for the Trojans. Elliott takes the bullet. And Shore on the rush, a wide open receiver underneath the coverage. There is a flag on the play. It is likely going to be against Shore for the contact.
Okay. Good job, offense.
And at only a 50-yard field, that's a hefty penalty to give up. So they got the first down on the run.
Let's go, Emer.
And that is now 1st and 11 for the goal line. Again, this is where UCD, they're having a great season, but the Trojans account for one of their 3 losses. The other came against the Dragons, and the other came against Panthers Navy in the regular season. All 3 Claddagh Bowl playoff teams. Underneath toss play, gets it easily gets around the flagpole, I think. Yes, touchdown Trojans again. Going for 1. Two receivers right, 1 to the left. And looking again, pylon, touchdown. That's touchdown +1 again. They go up to 14. Looks like the Trojans are trying to take advantage of the home field. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Sam Smith and the UCD offense are in some trouble here. Down 2 possessions early. First and second down have not been the issue for UCD. They've gotten positive yards on each of the first and second down plays. On each of their 2 drives so far. Here's second down. It's like a bunch formation around the snapper, and one is Houston wide to the left. Smith, arcing snap, handles it. There's a flag on the play. She'll throw the ball out, finds Houston, and it is caught for positive yards. We'll check the flag first. I'm waiting for what's going on here. And they call a blocking foul again. Second down still, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Houston, Watchorn in motion. Smith back to throw. Is an underneath catch. Smith had the flag pulled after the release of the ball. And thank goodness, because she was right at the 1-yard line. This is now third down. So again, positive yards gained by UCD on each of the first 2 downs on their 3 drives. Third and fourth have been the trouble spots. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. From the end zone, 5th throw goes underneath to Houston. Opts for positive yards to set up a slightly easier 4th down. Bunch formation, 14 yards to the midway line. Smith steps up, has pressure in her face, no sack. Houston with the run, and that does not get enough yards. Looks like the Mavericks or the Knights. It's a battle of 2 different shades of yellow on the other side of the field, and that's not super helpful for me. And they're, what are you doing, White Hat? He gave the Trojans an extra 5 yards and eventually recognized, nope, that's not where the spot goes. So, Trojans have lost 1 game in this playoff qualification round, and that was to South Dublin Panthers Navy. Underneath off play following the short snap, nets 10 yards. Emer Corrigan, the one on that one. Relatively new to flag football still. She began playing in the early months of 2025. And now we're midway through 2026, and she's emerged as a solid contributor for the Belfast Trojans team. The receivers all fan out. It's an underneath toss play that no one in particular is defending. And flag pulled at the 16. So we're now at the 2-minute warning. Very fast-moving half for all the quick drives that the Trojans have had. UCD will get the ball back following this drive, assuming the time doesn't run out. And the Trojans are in danger of going up 3 possessions here. Elliott to throw. Shore on the rush, throws it underneath. They've had great success on those underneath out routes. Elliott, after throwing the ball, is moving to the sideline to get the next play. Saves a couple of seconds for the Trojans. It's really smart quarterbacking. This is the final game of the qualification round. UCD hopes to have a larger roster for the Claddagh Bowl playoffs when they occur in about a month. Elliott to throw. This is second down and about 10 to go for the goal line. Looking front pylon, has a woman opening, complete. As the ball bounces into the second field on the other side, merely results in a third down. The clock stops as a result of the incomplete pass. So UCD with 2 timeouts remaining, Trojans also with 2 timeouts remaining. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Elliott takes the snap on this windy day in Belfast. Underneath to Heasley, incomplete. Houston had coverage. It was an immediate pull if she had caught the ball, but she did not. This sets up the first 4th down of the drive for the Trojans, second 4th down of the day. They converted on a 4th and 2 for the midway line first down and got the ball inside of the 5-yard line on that play. UCD at the goal line trying to turn the Trojans away for the first time. The receivers all to the left. Elliott snap. Outside, and it's incomplete. First turnover on downs today for the Trojans. Still lead 2 possessions. Critical drive early in this game with Trojans getting the ball to start the second half. Three receivers bunched to the right. Smith from under center. And it's going to be a short toss back. Smith's going to run, and she can not get to the sideline. Yeah, she doesn't get to the sideline. 7-yard gain-ish. No, 6-yard gain. And they might have, and they stopped the clock. No one called a timeout, so they might have gotten out of bounds. Bunch formation around the snapper with Houston wide to the left. They'll go out to Shore. Shore's got a little room, and it's pulled. Amy Sheridan on the stop. 6 yards to go for the first down. UCD get beyond the midfield line. Low snap to Smith. Underneath back to Peach, it's through her hands. Incomplete. Stops the clock. Yeah. 32 seconds to go, and UCD is going to take the timeout despite the clock being stopped for the incomplete pass. This is 4th and 6, so this is a critical moment here for Patty Sweeney and his team. And it's worth noting that these teams will play each other again in the semifinal action. And we thank everybody who has joined us so far for today's games and will continue to join us throughout the morning hours here in the United States or the afternoon hours in Ireland. And an incredible week of action for sports in general. And since UCD played last, 2 things broke their way, allowing them to finish out of the qualification phase. Home field advantage for the Trojans, who may or may not have this at the next spot. They play in the semifinals. Looking long, Houston had it, grass falling to ground, incomplete. What do the Trojans do here, getting the ball for the fourth time in this half? Anna Maria Sigler running off with a successful stop for the defense. It is 14-0, UCD in the lead. One receiver left, two to the right. UCD playing relatively close coverage, and they're going to hand it off. Frog is going to run. Thor is chasing her as she backpedals. Not 100% sure what that was, other than just a play to keep the ball in the field. Elliott, I think the Trojans have to snap the ball at least one more time. Never mind, I was wrong. End of the half. So, last call for questions as UCD and the Trojans will go to half. Second half coming up. It's 14-0. I'm going to take the field audio off. Thanks again, everybody, for having us be part of your Saturdays. My name is Max Wolpoff, the voice of UCD American football. Our next live stream will be July 5th. It'll be semifinal action between UCD, the 4 seed, and the Belfast Trojans, the 1 seed. Our next flag football stream on this channel likely isn't going to come until next season. Leave the call of the league is that they want to try to stream as many of the playoff games as possible on their channels, which is their prerogative. It's their championship after all. But today, again, from Belfast, UCD having a hard time against the Trojans, which, if I recall correctly, was also where UCD played Belfast last time they played in the regular season first phase. So, anyone got questions? Last chance at a mailbag. This is probably the last time some of you are going to see me until July 5th. Very quickly show the results that I do know. So all games today, Belfast already with a victory over the Northdown Dragons. Northwest Vipers pulled out a win over the Belfast Knights. UCD won. You saw that here on this channel, 1914. The other game on the other field was 34-18 Mavericks over the Vipers. Both of these games, UCD and the Trojans and the Knights and the Mavericks, are happening at the same time. Give me a second. I forgot the fact that I hadn't been sharing the screen with all of you. So these are the results from today's games so far. Belfast holds the 14-0 advantage. And we will eventually head back to the field to start the next half, as that was an awfully quick halftime. So let me bring the screen audio back. Have I played Marvel Rivals yet? Didn't know that was a thing, so no. Getting a question from Instagram. This is from the domestic game. Thoughts on 3 tiers of knitted football? Listen, I'd love to see more football being played in Ireland, but my call on that is let's make sure that the 2 divisions can have teams that finish their seasons first. And this year, having the Kildare Crusaders and last year having the South Dublin Panthers both cancel their seasons early as a result of forces in their control, out of their control, a little bit of both, result in the Panthers being relegated as this first down play goes for positive yards. And this year it resulted in the Kildare Crusaders forfeiting their last 4 games. I'd love to see more clubs involved. I think that'd be good for the growth of the game. But I don't know right now if the environment is suitable to have 3 tiers of 8 teams. Granted, if it's 3 tiers of 6, I don't know, and off the hands. Rare drop for Helen Smith. It'll stay 3rd down and 8. So, look, I think it's always good to bring in more people who can play this game. However, you need to make sure that the people who you bring in, the clubs you bring in, the support system you bring in around them is capable of supporting them. 3 receivers all to the right on this 3rd down. Wide snap handled by Elliott, and it's hardly catch. This has been a real problem for UCD all day, and it's going to cause even more trouble. Touchdown Trojans.
I see you walking away, and I was like, he's going the day if Nick's walking that way.
That mid-tier out route has been a huge problem for UCD all game. Defense has not had an answer for the outbreaking receiver, and definitely something that UCD in practice is going to have to figure out. 1-point try coming for the Trojans as they go up 3 possessions. Managed 1 stop previous half. The other drive ended half, so I don't count that as necessarily a stop. Front pylon through the hand. Maria Sigler and whoever the heck number 11 is are going onto the field for defense for the Trojans. As currently, they've got 4 people. They eventually get Ashley Craig out to make it 5-on-5. All receivers left side for UCD. First drive of the second half, underneath toss, looking for Kaylee Veal, running toward the sideline and gets lots of yards. Turnovers on down all 4 drives for UCD. They were unable to get a first down on any of them. Hierarchy snap over the motion receiver, so that ended up working out fine. All for Veal. She's got room. She got first down. We'll check the flag in the backfield. Flag thrown by the referee on 2nd down. Let's see what this one is. And never mind that first down. Shielding call.
Let's go, Ash! Not again!
20-0 lead, and things just keep not going right here for UCD in the second game of 2 today. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, as Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls plays on the loudspeaker. Not sure if the Trojans have anything right at the 1-yard line. I don't think this is a safety, but it is a bad moment here for UCD. And indeed, it's 4:25, basically. No, 3rd and 25. The shielding call doesn't result in a loss of down. So UCD right at their own doorstep, trying to protect their advantage, trying to protect the ball. Shore and Washorn will swap. That will stay around the snap. Smith from the end zone, throws it out for Shore, incomplete. Barring a defensive penalty, this drive is going to end in a turnover on downs for UCD. 4th and 24, and the Belfast Trojans are acting like this is a 0-0 game late in the quarter. Split receivers, 1 wide left, 1 wide right with 2 around the ball. Arcing snap, the throw underneath. Finds a positive yards, and this is going to be a long way to run. And I don't see a flag on the field, so it just results in a normal turnover on down. Comfortable advantage for the Trojans as finally one of the referees spots the fact that the pylon was in the field of play. Applause, applause, everybody. Golf clap, golf clap. I think that's Samantha Black of the Northdown Dragons. Big applause for that one. I was wondering when somebody would notice that. Two receivers left, one to the right. Elliott from the goal line. And the blitzer went up, and she stays. Did she get back in time? No, opt not rush her. Catch and run for Hannah King. King only played mixed flag football until about 2023, and that was when the Irish Wolfhounds created their all-women's team. However, that original team consisted of about 4 people by her own admission. Most first teams don't tend to have more than the required number. King drops this one. Had Veal right on her tail for the stop, but it falls incomplete, third down. 15 yards to get for the first. And, well, that was explicit, but thanks for that. Monique Heasley appears to be bleeding somewhere. So, can't have that on the field, so they stop the clock, allow the player to get off the field first, as always. And the clock begins now. It is a rolling clock for the first half, the first portion of the half. But for moments like that, you are allowed to stop the clock. Oregon again on that out route that UCD has had a lot of trouble with. Again, I normally leave a lot of the coaching and decision-making to the teams. It's not my call how any of these games go. I merely ask that most games start on time, because if they do, it allows me to go about my day afterward, because I have a working life now. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Elliott to throw on the rush, finds a receiver over the top of Anna King. Incomplete, and that was 4th down. Second stop. Blessed Fonko, who made the trip with the team, is out of uniform and not playing, but still here to support her teammates. She was a dynamic player for UCD through the early portion of this season. Curious to see if in a month's time she'll be available to play. As with much of the UCD roster, they have to rely on the same 7 people for most of the games today. High arcing snap from the field. Smith receives, looking out, finds a receiver, and they can't block for her, but she's able to get positive yards. First down has not been an issue for UCD as the pylon falls over in the field of play again. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. That's going to be Houston. Watchorn in motion. 2 receivers left. Second down. Looking for Shore. Finds her. It's complete. Shore's got room to run, and that room is stopped with 2 yards to go. It's third down. 3rd and 2. As Aisling Miller is going to come on in coverage. And I don't know who she replaced because number 11 came off. I don't know who that is. Underneath off play to Shore. The flags missed, and it is a first down. First down of the day for UCD. Down 3 possessions late in the game. I think a lot of the effort here is to build positive habits, as the carnival you see for Belfast's home park is over on the far side of the field. Bunch formation. Smith throw underneath coverage. Houston goes in motion to cut up field. Smith finds a receiver over the top of block for an incomplete. second and goal from the 23 of the Trojans. That was UCD's first play in Trojan territory today. One receiver left, right, or right to the snap. It's the throw. Right, heel off the hand. Incomplete. Quick stop. 3rd and 24. 23, sorry. As Smith from under center. Short toss to Houston. Smith can run. She can throw. She's going to run. And she'll get about 4 yards. 4th and goal for UCD. 20 yards to the end zone. Two receivers left, one to the right. What does Hadisini have called here? Washburn will motion. High snap. Smith launches downfield. It's incomplete. Receiver fell on the way to the goal line. Pass short anyway. Ruby Elliott and the Trojans take the field once again. Receivers left, one to the right. Trojans came away here with another score late in the game. Heasley has the ball after the catch and run, and that gets 7 or so yards, maybe 6. These teams are locked into playing each other in the semifinals. Elliott takes the toss. She'll throw underneath and off of Heasley's hands. Bounced off her hands as Veal went for the flagpole thinking she would catch it, which is an understandable impulse. But the ball bounced and it fell harmlessly to the ground. Just 2 fields in action here. The last time games were here, it was 4 fields. Elliott to throw on 3rd down and up. Point of attack. Emily Houston still playing hard, down 3 scores. Amy Sheridan, the intended target. This is 4th down. And UCD is going to play back at the 1st down line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. What does Elliott have planned here? She'll step up to the right, finds Heasley, and Heasley not. UCD has turned the ball over on down 6 times they've had the ball. Only on their drive do they cross midfield for a 1st down. And even then, only barely. Trying to get comfortable in my chair here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Smith has a receiver in motion. He's going to hand it off. And limited gain. Nobody seemed to make a deliberate motion that the flag was pulled. Down judge did call the play down. .22 is another player who I don't know who she is. Change formation, 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Now everybody on the right side. Smith looking for a quick throws an interception right to the sideline. There is communication there. That is a pick six.
Switching up the pitch.
That was about as obvious a pick six as I've seen throughout any. Smith threw it straight to the Trojans player. Not sure what the issue was there with the receivers were going up. Smith threw it short. It results in 6 extra points for the Trojans, who fall back to UCD following all receivers left side. Elliott rolls up and apparently caught. It results in a conversion 27-0. Cool way to end this UCD, who had improved the roster and the team incredibly. That gave Panthers Navy their first domestic loss. Really deep on the catch and run. First down is again for good positive yards. And the first play for UCD in all these drives has not been the problem. They've gotten positive yards on all of them. Each will again snap the ball. Shore is the slot. Watchmore have two receivers most of the days. Wide out, but off the field. A yanked 4 yards ahead. Oregon on the top. 3rd and 4. Got to get to the midway line to reset the chains. Same formation as before. Smith will take the 3rd down snap. Looking for help over the top. Has a receiver on the sideline. It's Peach, and she has her flag pulled around the 10. Not sure what happened there for Trojans coverage, but Peach was open, as was, I believe, Houston and Watchorn. And there's the 2-minute warning. It is 27-0 Trojans. This is not running clock territory, so we will still have traditional 2-minute timing rules in effect. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Smith takes the bullet snap. Looking underneath, finds Houston off her hands. This is 2nd down. With the incompletion, the clock stops. Both teams have both of their timeouts, and UCD is 13 yards away from a score. Two receivers right, 1 to the left. Underneath toss, Shore gets inside the 5, first time today from the goal line, and they'll rule that she was down at the 6. All right. A little earlier, Shore did run. Whoever 11 is coming onto the field. I don't know who she is. 3rd down. 1 receiver wide left, 2 to the right. Smith looks, finds options, throws it underneath, finds Houston off her hands. She can't believe she didn't come down. It's 4th down. Moment of pride here for the Trojans. Can they keep UCD off the board? Awfully hard to shut teams out in flag football with how geared toward offense the rules are. Smith to throw, pixels go, and it's broken up, incomplete. Turnover on downs as UCD is turned away in the red zone. First bit of adversity the Trojans have faced all day, as they didn't allow a point to the Dragons in the first game, and they haven't allowed a point to UCD yet. There is still time in this game, but with a 4-possession advantage and under 2 minutes to go, Elliott will take the ball, and she'll hand it off to Heasley. Safe play to keep the clock moving inside the first down line, and she got through 2 tacklers and made it to the 19-yard line. No incentive to go quickly. Trojans take their time. Clock is moving, and play clock will keep winding. Elliott takes this ball. Second down throw to Heasley, off her hands, incomplete. Smith was there for an immediate tackle. It would have been really close to a first down, but that's a moot point right now. 6 yards to get for a first down. The clock does stop because of the incomplete pass, as I believe that's Ruby Elliott's headpiece that is coming off. Yes, it is. I don't know who 23 is, but she goes in motion here and takes the ball on the handoff. She's going to get the first down. Clock will stop because of the change of downs. And there's now 10 seconds left. The Trojans, they're fighting for an extra touchdown here. They line up about 19 and a half yards away. Is Gunnar Henderson walking up to the plate? Sorry, Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani is Gunnar Henderson's walk-up, and they will take a knee and take the victory. Trojans 27, UCD nothing, and that is how the season ends. Playoff round is next, as it is a 27-0 victory for the Trojans at their home field. They win both games today by a combined 40-0. And the camera goes out right as the game ends. All right, so that's going to be my cue to leave, and that's my cue to end this stream. So a huge thank you to all of you for being part of these live streams over the last several weeks. The flag football team definitely questions my existence and my ability to do this, and I sometimes question whether this is worth the early wake-ups, because especially for a 5 a.m. start for me, it's really bad if I have to work the previous night and the next day. But over the course of the last several weeks, it has been incredibly rewarding to bring you these games. Your finals today, UCD with a win in the first game, 19-14 over the North Down Dragons, and Belfast Trojans with a win over UCD, 27-0. So the Claddagh Bowl playoff picture, I'm going to share my tab. All right, so it'll look like this. Actually, it looks exactly like this. So the Panthers, they're locked into the first spot. They finished play earlier. The Belfast Trojans will finish 10-3. UCD will finish 9-4. North Down will finish 6-7, but they play in fourth because they defeated the Dublin Redbows, who finish 6-7. I don't know what happened in the previous Lath Mavericks game that was also going on at the same time, but the important thing to note for UCD is, let me just go to this. So the important thing to note for UCD is that their first round game is this matchup against the same Belfast Trojans team that just defeated them 27-0. That is going to be a tall order for Patty Sweeney and the team to make sure that they're all ready to go in about a month when they play. Playoff round will go like this. The Dragons will play the Redbows. The winner of that will face the Panthers, and the Trojans will play UCD. The winners of those two semifinals games will meet for the Claddagh Bowl. As once again, I'm going to end today's stream. Thank you to all of you for making these games and these early wake-ups worthwhile. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in previously. Thank you to everyone who will tune in after the fact. Always thrilled to bring you these games. Have a great rest of your Saturday.